Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Overseas View with Rahat Rao. Today we have very special two guests. One is Mr. Rahat Rao, who is an international political observer, and also we have a very good businessman, a young professional, business professional, Rifat Ali Bhatti. He is Canadian, but he moves to Pakistan, and we're gonna start with Roger View. He's expert in his opinion about how a country from developing country to move to industrialized or developed country, what kind of measure the government should take to go in that phase.
Shall I start first?
Yes.
So if we observe that the development of the economy of the world, so we have like developed countries and developing countries. The developed countries have all gone through industrialization. So a country, a third world country, would need to industrialize in order to take advantage of its population. As we know that from Adam Smith, that who stated that wealth is created by labor. So take the country, for example, Pakistan. You have a big population, a young population, and increasing very fast. The problem is that you have like probably resources limited. So you need a policy to take advantage of its labor force, and also its geographic location as well as chief assets. So if you observe the worldwide, I think the developed countries have always been the few developed countries in Europe and America. Since World War II, there has been, I can say, like no third world country has ever successfully developed from a developing country to a developed country. There are a few exceptions, like Singapore and some other countries like
Malaysia.
Malaysia is not quite developed yet.
But they are like
So there are a few exceptions. Korea,
yeah,
South Korea is an exception.
That's right.
Taiwan is an exception. Two notable exceptions. Why? Because all the countries, the third world countries, would need to industrialize. They will need a plan. And they will need technology and capital. And a stable, like long-term plan to work out. And none of the countries that normally that can have that stable, long-term stable political situation. And also they lack like the basic education, steady improving basic education to work on the labor force. And they also lack the capital and technology and an export market as well. So if you see why Taiwan and South Korea are successful, because they have been very stable and very strong authoritarian governments for like 20, 30 years after World War II, not with the help of the Americans. While in other countries, of course, developing countries, that they might have this like strongman politics, like being a stable country. However, like the Philippines, they did not develop. They have all the elements to succeed, they did not. Why? Because of the corruption. We now know that the government of the Marcos government, right?
Yes.
Were very corrupt. So it didn't develop. So a developing country would need a strong government, a stable political environment, and would need to gradually improve its labor force with education, and to attract, like take advantages of international, like conditions that's favorable to them, like outside market and technology transfer and capital. That's my opinion. But under current Western arrangements, international systems, few countries can succeed. Few developing countries can succeed transforming themselves, because the developed world has like a regime to running the world economy, right? They have World Bank, IMF. Now all these regimes work to maintain a superiority of Western technology and capital. So they preach like, you open up your market. They don't want you to have a plan. They want you to open your market. Let's say a Pakistan company, a local company. How can a local company compete with international companies from the United States and Europe? There's no chance. So if you open a market for them to come in, you don't have a plan to grow yourself.
Compete with them.
Yeah. You are forever bound in the position of being a dumping market, that they can dump in their products and services, right?
Yes, sir.
You cannot develop. Okay? You can, because they maintain, they're always ahead of you. They may transfer you some technologies to you, but if the country, now all the countries have a plan, who succeed have a plan. Singapore has a plan, South Korea has a plan, Australia has a plan. Taiwan was under former KMT government, was a strong government, and was stable for a long time. So if you observe the European countries who have developed this throughout history, they was pretty much alike, right? Well, the democracy movement, the democratic systems we know that they have today, they developed over time, with or even after industrialization, not before industrialization. So I won't say democracy is bad, but it is a very fair system, appears to be fair, but it's not very effective, especially when you have like people vote, political conscious vote, people vote for their own interest. So if they vote for, in the country, they vote sectarian or tribal lines,
Yes.
right? And then it doesn't help very much, because they always vote for their own family.
Yeah, this is the, sorry to interrupt you, this is the same problem in Pakistan.
Yeah, if Pakistan has 4 provinces,
Yeah.
right? I heard about that, right? So you have, like, some Western people come over, hey, you're not a Pakistani, you're Sindhi, right?
Yes.
People say that. It's similar things happening in China. So in China, you have very diverse, even more diversity than Pakistan. You have like 30 provinces, right? And much, much larger
And
space.
for the more people exploit, they say, oh, you are Punjabi, you are Kochi, you are Pathan, you are Sindhi.
Yeah. We have people in Western people come in Shanghai, because Shanghai is very developed. When the people say Shanghai, I'm a Chinese, hey, you're not Chinese, you're Shanghainese. That's a concept that we want. What? You know, right? That's because China's unified. Recently in Hong Kong, okay? Just right now in Hong Kong, for the last couple of years, there's this movement called Hong Kong independence movement. Because Hong Kong is not China. And people just, what? Right? So, but the movement is supported by, like, US, by,
Western interest.
yeah.
Western countries.
Take US, for example, they have a consulate presence in Hong Kong, 500 people. England has 500 people there. What business there? There's no concept of business, because Hong Kong has it's a free port. People move free, right? What are these 500 people working there for? Sedition, I would say. You know, a lot of spies. Okay, they're spending a lot of money. Okay, fermenting a Hong Kong identity. Now we see that the 2 young people elected to the legislature, right now, this issue has been resolved right now at this moment. I think the two, when at their confirmation ceremony, so this how can you imagine this? And this is very bad. Okay, I wouldn't say they will succeed because if it's any other country, if it's Pakistan, it might cause a great problem. However, it's China, so the China National People's Congress just issued an interpretation of what the law means in Hong Kong. I hopefully resolve this issue very quickly.
Okay.
And will deprive these two young guys, one man and woman, of their position of being elected legislature. They will lose their, I think they will lose their jobs.
Yeah.
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 This will not happen if it's in Pakistan, if it's in the Philippines, if it's in Malaysia, it will cause the U.S. to interfere.
Yeah.
I hope the U.S. will not interfere this time. Even if it interferes, doesn't matter.
Doesn't
much.
gonna make any difference.
Yeah, because China has a strong government,
Yes.
right? So can maintain the peace or maintain
Strong government
yeah.
and a strong economy,
Yeah,
strong
independence, right?
independence, yeah.
But it's not good for Hong Kong. Hong Kong is going down. It's not going to be very good.
So in this current position, like Pakistan have the most corrupted politician in Pakistan, and the system to elect people are very difficult for a common man, for an honest man to win the election.
Mm.
You have to be tribal person, you have to be sectarian, and you have to have money, and 90% people are corrupt, 90% politicians are corrupt. So how the people, what should they do to get rid of these people?
Well, I think it's important for Pakistan to I know Pakistan has some problems with neighboring Afghanistan, right?
And India.
And India, right? So have bad relations with India and have disturbances in Afghanistan, right? And this is also this identity issue too, right? Like the Sindhi or Punjabi thing, and maybe also religious differences as well.
Yes.
So, however, Pakistan has a very substantial population, as I said before, and a good geographical location as well. And people speak English, right? Yeah. So, I think with China offering to help, so you, I think, have a chance, right, to develop your infrastructure, to maintain it's important to maintain politically stable. Yeah. I think that it's important for a political force to emerge or unite. You got to have a all people party. If it's the party based on Western model, so let's say one party represents only the rich, the other party always leaning towards certain people, and they always fight, right? And you won't have political stability. And it's important. Remember, it's important to have long-term plan for industrialization. You need policies and plans for that to happen because it's very complicated. Like you're running a company, right? You need a plan, right? The same with the economy of the country. If you don't have a plan and properly, so that's an idea. This is a market work out itself. It's not true. I think 30 years ago, something, 25 years ago, after the end of the Cold War, the Americans, the victorious, right? They had this idea that we have free market economy, small government, and that's the recipe for democracy elections, right? And that will, it's good for every country. I think the world, agreed with to it, and bought it very much. With it coming called the third wave of democratization throughout the world. So if you look at the world today, there are not many undemocratic regimes. Like in the 70s in South America, a lot of junta dictatorships, right? Nowadays, you have 90% of the country have elections, right? The problem with that is that if you have a divide to the country along tribal, religious, or whatever, lines, and then the elections will only serve to deepen those divisions in
Yeah,
some cases.
that's what happened.
So then you have, maybe it's better to separate peacefully. But it's always bad. Not,
Yeah, but Prime Minister been corrupt too.
yeah, being assassinated, things like that. So I think that
What is your advice for people, the ordinary people
mm,
of Pakistan, what they should do?
mm,
They should, what they do to get rid of these people and how they can strive, how can be like, they can be have a good life because people are there, they have no electricity, no law and order, and the funds been like they're supposed to put on people, but they put in their pocket and then put in Switzerland, and put in England.
yeah, this is basically the dysfunction of the government.
So
right?
the people are very desperate.
Yeah, I think this is no easy solution to these problems. The people, if you speak to the individual people, means political activism may work, but eventually you need stability.
What about the government of technocrats instead of martial law or British democracy? The people who are like neutral people, honest people, some people.
Yeah, that would be an easy solution if a major party, like a leader of a major party, right, backed by, in your country, backed by the military, right, will unite all the other parties. Okay, this model will be different from the Western model. Okay, so if you unite, have a consensus, say we will have peace, right? Probably you may not choose to fight for those seats in the Congress. Maybe you have those seats secure proportionally among different tribes, and so it's stable for 5 years, right? So instead of fighting for those positions, right, you have the country, the state, the major party, the major political force, right, can secure a stable situation, rule by consensus.
Can you tell me how the China get rid of these elders? You used to have a landlords and these elders and people who, how they get rid, how they like.
Well, I think that before the revolution in China, let's say in the 20s and 30s, after the dissolution of the Manchurian dynasty, the situation in China were much worse than that is today in India or Pakistan. In Shanghai, for example, every morning, the city or the church organizations, people could collect 100 dead bodies from the street. In Shanghai, about 2 million people. Yeah, and so the situation was very bad. Yeah, it was very bad. Like people dying all over. So you have 30 years, starting with the dissolution, the downfall of the Manchurian dynasty, until it's about 38 years, until the founding of the People's Republic. The population grew very slowly. People life expectancy is 35 years. Children or babies die at 50,000, something like that. It's very high. Yeah. So the problem with that was that the resources, the land, was dominated by landlords in the countryside. So the people, typically a landlord would live in a city, would have someone collect their rents from the farmers. It's 50%. So if I'm poor, okay, I rent a small field to work on, so the landlord will charge 50% or even more. That's a normal condition. And with that land structure, the society at a standstill. Nothing can move. So you're born farmer or peasants, you have no hope. Yeah. So people say, can you industrialize? No, you can't industrialize. Because with the ownership of land, they have a social structure by gentry. In Pakistan, what you call these people?
A landlord?
It's gentry, landlord class. Yeah.
Upper class.
Yeah.
Vidya system.
Yes.
Yeah, they have or whatever, the people that were educated, who owned the land. But 85% of people were illiterate in China at the time. So there was no hope. So, and then you have the Western powers like dumping their industrial products in China from the Yangtze River, right? And because China was so big, no single country can dominate it. They tried, but with revolt and violence, we said, well, can't do it. So they agreed to share among them, like different spheres of influence, like the Yangtze River section of the Americans and the British, and you have the peninsula to the north with Germans and Japanese, etc. The northeast, you have the Russians. Yes, also the different areas.
So, what's your opinion about this current situation?
Well, we have that is the revolution that the Chinese Communist Party takes over had land reform. They basically confiscate all the land of the country and distribute it among farmers.
Yeah, they try in Pakistan, but they are still, what happened, the corruption, these people who were landlord, they put on their son name, they put on their servant name, they're not educated, and then when the revolution happened, then they took it back. So it's not,
I know it's not easy.
Yeah.
In China, it was a violent and bloody revolution.
Yeah.
So, in some other countries, in South Korea and Taiwan, it's more peaceful because of the problem is a much smaller scale. And the governments have a lot of money to buy the land, right, to distribute it. In China, there's a lot of violence.
So, Rifat, what's your opinion about this matter?
Thank you so much first for inviting me for this
Thank you for
wonderful
coming.
discussion. Yes, for this wonderful discussion regarding that, how a country can transform from a developing to a developed state. Actually, and I appreciate Mr. Roger's views. He has very rich observation on the political scenarios of different countries. But actually, my focus is purely Pakistan because, our aim that how we can refine, how we can make it more better shape. In his discussions, he mentioned that for the labor force is your wealth, that how you can utilize. So actually, I will extend this argument further. In Pakistan is a really is good country that having at this time much younger generations in more in average in more than other Asian countries. Our population from 30 to 40 is around more than 40%, which is optimistic, which is a good hope for Pakistan. What we can do is actually what I observed that in Pakistan we have population census in 1998, which we mentioned that we have around 140 million people in that time. And since from 1998 till now, we did not have any more population census. Which means that we don't know that what is our exact populations, what is our numbers. Because in family or in company, you know that okay, this is belong there are 5 or 6 people, so you manage according to 5 or 6 people. But when you don't know the exact number of your country, how you can manage them? So since this is like a big problem, so I think we should go for first this population census, that like what is our actual strength and what is our actual numbers, and then we can plan according to that. Furthermore, that like mean we can build a nation, that when we know that okay, these are our resources, these are our like problems, and we have to plan for for elder group, for like younger group, or like for like young generation, that how we can move on according to the resources, according to their needs, and then we have to strong their base, because I think education factor is a very main like factor in our society, that if we give them a proper education, give them proper teaching, so at least they can refine their mind and they can choose good leader as well in future. So now whatever the current scenario we have, like in broken democracy systems, but at least we cannot say okay, I mean like we will go for revolution, because that is exception. In this time it is I think hard to go for that. I mean that is bloodshed. If you go for revolutions.
Yeah.
And like the revolution is cannot be successful unless you have a blood. So I mean I don't support for that argument, but I recommend that our government should, at least in this broken democracy system, they should go for the population census. They should know that what is their resources. They should know that what is people needs. At least fulfill their people needs. We have, alhamdulillah, we have resources. We have good demographic factors, and also like it is a very good support at this time that we are working with China, and China is investing in Pakistan in terms of CPAC, which is is a bright future for Pakistan. So I think my recommendation is go for like a first population census, and first identify what is your needs and how to tackle that needs.
What about this corrupt politician? How we can get rid of these people? Because each time the current system, if you can do election like 50 times, 100 times, if you study, I've been a student of politics, and I was a law student. So I was watching some of the constituency, same people with different. I don't want to mention them. Different. Like the party, they changed from 80s, from Zal Haq to then they moved to Noon League, then they Kaf League, then People's Party, then again PTI. The same people, they're changing just the parties, and the same people is they're dominating. Like very few 20% people are coming more, and they are just controlling the country.
I will answer for that. Actually, the problem is, what is the root cause? The root cause is like why they are becoming again and why they are electing again and again. There is a reason. The reason is the people who are choosing them is ignorant. They don't have like proper information. They don't have proper education, and the people they are electing, actually they are their problems, because they don't want to give them proper education, because they know that if they will get educated, they will not choose him. So this is the problem. If we will give them these people a proper education, give them a proper infrastructure, so definitely they will have mind that okay, these people are not for our benefits. These people are corrupt people. So then definitely they will not choose. So I think we are lacking of proper education, because now 70% are illiterate in Pakistan, which is huge, a big number. We cannot. Yeah.
How much?
70%.
Illiterate?
Not 70 now, it's 60.
Yeah, but actually, still 60 is a big number.
That's a big number.
Yeah, 60 is still big number. You cannot say a person is a literate when he can read and write in Urdu language. That is very common. In our country, we assume that okay, a person who can read a line of Urdu is he's a literate person.
Before people was even 80%. It's still some progress,
yes,
but
Yeah, but still we are far behind. So we have to get people educated to know how they can choose their people.
Well, how to choose them is the result. It's not, it happens later. Right?
Correct. Yeah,
So
that is later.
it happens later. So
but
before that, you need. I think it was the problem is that is entrenched interests. So if you have a country divided, the resources like the land, for example,
Yeah.
right? Concentrated, it's dominated by a certain group of people, right? So, as I said, that the industrialization is a plan, needs all the resources of the country, right?
It's true, yes, actually.
Yeah, so like land, people, right? And probably some foreign investment, technology, and foreign export market, right? So at the beginning, you need to produce things to export it, to accumulate technology transfer, and some capital. So if the people like get richer, now imagine like a purely agricultural society is very poor, no matter how protective your land is, compared to an industrialized country. So one small factory occupying only a corner of your farm can outperform the entire your farmland, right, in output, right? So there is great potential, like a lot of wealth to be created from industrialization. Yeah, why China would make a difference in the world? Because like I said, if you import a machine for your factory in Pakistan from the United States or Japan or Germany, they're very, very expensive. Very expensive. They're protected by patents, limited quantities, and they're according to their peculiar, advanced whatever technology, right? And it's not suitable for Pakistan. Okay, so what China did was different. China would like a much larger scale into its western borders, right? A lot of the countries have not been industrialized. Imagine Africa and the Middle East became industrialized, and they would need vast amount of machines, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's why China was interested. It has an interest for itself,
Yeah,
right?
true, yeah.
Yeah. If you just import from the US, from Japan, from Germany, they were very expensive. There's no hope of making any money back.
Yeah, actually, for this step, I think still we need time, We need to train our people. We need to turn into gold. And how we can turn it, because, we will go for this transition, to export the technology or import the technology. Once we have a proper educated people, they should have some kind of average level of information, so they can use that resources, they can use that kind of machineries, and then we can use those people in our industry. So still, our base is how to give our people knowledge, so they can contribute into our society. Which is the major part. Once we have that kind of people, then we can import a machinery, we can use the machinery, we can go for industrialization, any kind of industrialization. Since for, as I give example for IT, what's the difference between India and in Pakistan? In terms of IT, because we both get this at the same time. But why India exploit this? Because they have resources, and the government give them opportunity to train them, to teach them. So then finally they become a tools to fetch the foreign income into the country. So we can do the same thing. The government should actually this is one example. So we can choose some sectors where we can train our people, and then we can use that people to get the foreign. Because this nowadays, foreign reserve is a main thing, because if you have a foreign reserve, if you have a foreign currency, then you can use to import the things in your country. So I think we have to give them proper educations to our peoples in skill form or in non-skill forms, to make a tools to get so then they can, it's good for society, good for the family, good for country.
Thank you very much, Rahat Rao and Rajan. Today, नाज़रीन जो हमारे दोनों एक्सपर्ट हैं, इनका जो एक्सपर्टीज़ है उसके मुताबिक जो इन्होंने राजन ने यही कहा है कि भी अगर कंट्री को आपने نکالنا ہے ڈیولپنگ سے ٹرانسفارمنگ ٹو ورز ڈیولپ کنٹری، تو آپ کو لینڈ ریفارم یعنی کہ جو بڑے بڑے جاگیرداروں نے زمینیں جو ہیں لی ہوئی ہیں ان کو لینڈ ریفارم کرنا پڑے گا. آپ کو کنٹری میں ایجوکیشن عام کرنی پڑے گی، آپ کو جو ہے انڈسٹری لگانی پڑے گی، اور آپ کو جو ہے جو بڑے بڑے جو جاگیردار ہیں ان سے آپ کو چھٹکارا حاصل کرنا پڑے گا. جب لوگوں کو شعور آئے گا، اور وہ انہوں نے یہ بھی کہا کہ آپ کے کنٹری کو جو ویسٹرن انٹرسٹ ہے انہوں نے اپنی پروڈکٹ کے لیے ڈمپنگ جگہ بنایا ہے، کیونکہ آپ کے پاس بہت بڑی پاپولیشن ہے، تو آپ کی کمپنیاں کے پاس ریسورسز نہیں ہیں، وہ ان کا مقابلہ نہیں کر سکتی جب وہ باہر کی پروڈکٹ آتی ہیں، ان کی کوالٹی اور وہ جو ان کی پرائس ہے اور ان کی پروڈکٹ ہے وہ ہمارے ملک کو جو ہے امپورٹ زیادہ کر رہا ہے اور ایکسپورٹ کم کر رہا ہے. اسی لیے ہمارے لوگ جو ہیں وہ امیر نہیں ہیں، کیونکہ اگر ہمارے ملک ایکسپورٹ زیادہ کرے گا تو فیکٹریاں زیادہ لگیں گی اور زیادہ لوگ ہائر ہوں گے. جب لوگوں کے پاس ایجوکیشن ہوگی، جاب ہوگی، شعور ہوگا، تو وہ پھر اپنی مرضی سے ووٹ دیں گے. ان کے پاس اب جس آدمی کی جیب خالی ہے، پیٹ خالی ہے، تو وہ دوسروں کے کہنے، اور جس کے پاس نالج نہیں ہے. اور رفت صاحب نے بہت اچھے پوائنٹ ریز کیے ہیں کہ پاکستان میں 98 سے وہ بہت سے لوگ ہیں ان کی انٹرسٹ ہے کہ سینسز نہ ہو، کیونکہ سینسز بھی بہت سی جگہوں پر مردم شماری والوں کو جان ہی نہیں دیا جاتا. تو ہمارے ایک عزیز سے وہ بتاتے تھے کہ بعض اوقات فوج کو لے کے جانا پڑتا تھا، وہ کمشنر رہے ہیں، کہ بھی یہ بہت سے جو وڈیرے ہیں وہ لوگ کو سینسز والوں کو آنے نہیں دیتے، اور ان کو غلط وہ انفارمیشن یعنی غلط ان کو بتاتے کہ اتنے لوگ ہیں، جتنے لوگ ہوتے ہیں اس کے زیادہ بتاتے ہیں، جو تاکہ ہماری آبادی زیادہ لگے. تو یہ ہے کہ سینسس بھی نہیں ہوا، 15-16 سال سے زیادہ ہو گئے ہیں ملک میں. اور انہوں نے بہت اچھا پوائنٹ ریز کیا کہ ملک میں سینسس ہونے چاہیے، ہمیں پتہ ہو. ہر کمپنی اپنا چیک کرتی ہے کہ بھی ہمارے کتنے امپلائیز ہیں، ہر انسان اپنے گھر کا بجٹ بناتا ہے، میرے گھر میں کتنے لوگ ہیں، میں ان کے حساب سے اپنے گھر کا بجٹ جو ہے مختص کروں کہ اتنا گھر کے لیے ہے، اتنا جو ہے باقی چیزوں کے لیے ہے. اور کمپنی والے بھی اپنا بجٹ جتنے ان کے ملازمین ہوتے ہیں. لیکن ہمارے ملک میں سینسس ہی نہیں ہوا، پتہ ہی نہیں ہے کہ لوگ کتنے ہیں، کتنے لوگوں کے لیے بجٹ بنانا ہے، کتنے لوگوں کے لیے آپ نے سڑکیں بنانی ہیں، کتنے لوگوں کے لیے آپ نے ہاسپٹل بنانے ہیں، کتنے لوگوں کے آپ لیے اسکول بنے ہیں. کچھ پتہ ہی نہیں ہے. 15-16 سال سے کوئی بات پتہ ہی نہیں کہ بھی لوگ کتنے ہیں. تو بس وہ ایک اندازے سے آپ چلا رہے ہیں کہ بھی اتنے لوگ ہوں گے، آپ کو پتہ ہی نہیں کہ آپ کے ملک میں لوگ کتنے ہیں، کتنی آبادی بڑھ گئی ہے، کتنے لوگ ایجوکیٹڈ ہیں، کتنے لوگوں کے پاس کتنی تعلیم کیسی ہے، ہنرمند کتنے ہیں، ان کو کیسے یوٹیلائز کرنا ہے. اور یہ جو انہوں نے تعلیم کا کہا کہ جب لوگوں کو آپ تعلیم دیں گے اور انڈسٹری لگائیں گے تو پھر جو ہے لوگوں میں شعور بھی آئے گا. جب لوگوں کے جیب میں پیسے ہوں گے، لوگوں کے پاس تعلیم ہوگی، تو پھر لوگ اپنی مرضی کے مطابق اپنے لوگوں کو چنیں گے کہ جو ان کو جا کر اس میں جو ہے اسمبلی میں جا کے ان کی بات کرے. دوسرا یہ ہے کہ کسی دنیا کے ملک میں یہ نہیں ہوتا کہ ممبر آف پارلیمنٹ کو فنڈ دیے جائیں کہ وہ اپنی مرضی سے خرچ کرے، وہ اپنی مرضی سے یہ تعمیراتی کام کروائے، سڑکیں بنوائے، یہ گلیاں بنوائے، کھمبے. یہ ان کا کام تو صرف قانون بنانا ہے. یہ جو دور میں شروع ہوا کہ ان کو رشوت دینے کے لیے اور ان کو کمیشن دینے کے لیے، اگر یہ ختم ہو جائے، اگر یہی ختم ہو جائے تو لوگ ممبر اسمبلی بننا ہی نہیں چاہیں گے. لوگ کیوں بننا چاہتے ہیں؟ ان کو 2 ارب کا ملتا ہے، اس میں 20% ہوتا ہے. تو ظاہر ہے وہ اس لیے 10-20 کروڑ روپے لگا کے جائیں تاکہ ہمیں جو ہے ہم 20% کمائیں گے. ہم جتنے زیادہ فنڈ لے کر آئیں گے اتنے زیادہ کمیشن ملے گا. تو آج کے پروگرام کے ساتھ کا وقت اتنا ہی تھا. تو آج کے ہمارے پروڈیوسر تھے شاید مسعود صدیقی صاحب، اور جو ہے ان کا بہت شکریہ. اور آئی ایم ویری پلیز ٹو بی ہیو راجر ویو. اینڈ ہمارے جو رفت بھائی ہیں یہ اسپیشلی ہماری ریکویسٹ پر آئے ہیں. اور ہم جب بھی ہمارا پروگرام ہوا کرے گا انشاءاللہ تو یہ اسلام آباد میں ہوتے ہیں. تو ہمارا پروگرام ہوا کرے گا سیچرڈے نائٹ کو کینیڈا میں. تو آپ جو ناظرین ہیں وہ سنڈے کو وہ اویلیبل ہوگا پاکستان میں، کیونکہ سنڈے شروع ہو جاتی ہے. تو اب یہ ہمارے رفت صاحب اپنا ای میل ایڈریس ہوتا ہے، اگر کسی کو کوئی سجیشن ہے پاکستان سے تو ان سے رابطہ کر سکتے ہیں ای میل کے ذریعے. اور کوئی بھی ان کے پاس کوئی سوال ہے لوگوں کے پاس تو ناظرین آپ کو یہ رفت صاحب اپنا ای میل بتائیں گے.
ہاں جی بالکل، میرا ای میل ایڈریس ہے جی rifatali1@gmail.com rifatali1@gmail.com.
تو ناظرین اگر آپ کو کوئی سجیشن ہے، اگر آپ یہاں کینیڈا میں وینکوور میں ہیں تو میرا ای میل ایڈریس ہے rahat.rao@hotmail.com. Thank you very much. Khuda Hafiz.